A Shalom Akim wa Akwath of the elect of the nation of Israel. Welcome back to another summer exhortation number 10 entitled Abstain from all appearance of evil. I'll read that one more time. Summer exhortation number 10, abstain from all appearance of evil. And the inspiration of this lesson came out of the book of 1 Thessalonians 5 and 22, abstain from all appearance of evil. And this is a exhortation for you younger brothers and sisters who are coming into the understanding that you're an Israelite. You've been in this truth for whether it's a month, 2 months, half a year, heading into a year, to abstain from all appearance of evil. And the man that you see here on this picture goes by the name of Chief Ephraim. And, quick background about Chief Ephraim is one of those guys that came out of nowhere. Okay, he emerged out of nowhere. Okay, he started, he's still teaching Israel, which, that's a good thing. But it's not 100% fully persuaded in his own mind. And as you see, he has his modern day swords was at 1, 2, 3 swords, which this is an example of evil appearance, which again, there's nothing wrong, having your own firearm, which that's your right according to Babylon the Great. Whatever state you're at, you have the right to have firearms depending on your background. But when it comes to the truth, when it comes to this ministry, you have to abstain from the appearance of evil, because these modern day weapons, these are examples of the blessing of Esau, Edom being the so-called white man. Hey, so before I go any further, I want to give all praises to my power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Raha Kwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well and teach well with sound doctrine. And shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered amongst the heathen in these last days. In these last days, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, you make up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Now again, this man that you see here, known as Chief Ephraim, okay, that's his so-called title. Okay, he doesn't teach that the mark of the beast is the RFID, okay, microchip. Okay, he doesn't teach that. He teaches contrary to the true breakdown of the elders apostles at Great Millstone. Okay, this man has not been in the truth for more than 25, 30 years to even call himself a chief. I believe this is the same guy who has, okay, various other, small camps, sanctuaries that call themselves pull-up boys. You see, pull-up boys, and that should tell you something, man. Calling yourself a boy when you're over 30, 40 years. You're supposed to grow in this truth and be a great example to the younger brothers. And this is not being an example, a great example to the nation of Israel, especially the young brothers and sisters who are currently being woken up through the word, which the word is Yahushai. So real quick, this is a Psalm of David, King David, Psalms 44 and 6. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. Now the ancient, firearms of our forefathers, you had an axe, various, hammer, a bow and arrow, okay, a sword. So, King David, he didn't trust in his sword. And the only reason why David and his men had a sword and used that sword to execute judgment is because during the time of King David, we were sovereign. Okay, we had power. We were over the nations for about 40 years. Now, in these times, we are not sovereign. Okay, we are not in power. We are not in rulership. That's why Yahushua said in the book of John 18 and 36, Yahushua answered, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight? You see that? So the true servants of Yahweh Shemel Shai, if this was to be our kingdom, hey, we would take a so-called firearms and take down Esau, Edom. But that's not the case. That's not how this truth works. Okay, this truth doesn't work. Okay, when you come into this truth, it don't work like that. Okay, you don't come and do your own thing, man. There's an actual order. And how Shemel Shai said, matter of fact, I'll get that right now. Because again, there's nothing wrong having a firearm, okay, legally. But if you're promoting it as a doctrine, Yahweh Shemel Shai is not pleased with that. Matthew 26 and 52. Then Yahweh Shai said unto him, put up again thy sword into its place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. You see? And again, the modern day swords, that's Esau's blessing, the so-called white man. We'll get there right now in Genesis 27. But again, Yahweh shall answer, my kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight. So if Chief Ephraim, if he really is a man of Yahweh Shemel Shai, he wouldn't be taking, these firearms as a means of overthrowing Esau, Edom. Okay, the way that us brothers are going to take down Esau, Edom is through the word. For example, Jeremiah 1 and 10. See, I have this day set thee over the nations and over the kingdoms, to root out and to pull down and to destroy and to throw down and to build and to plant. So the way that the prophets, the real servants, the prophets, like it tells you in Amos 3 and 7, the way that we're going to destroy the kingdom of Esau, Edom, let's get Psalms 118. It's through the name, okay, which the name is the word, which is Yahweh Shai. Psalms 118 and 10. O nations compass me about, but in the name, you see that, in the name of the Lord Yahweh will I destroy them. You see, so the name has power. The power of Yahweh Shemel Shai is what's going to bring down this man's kingdom. They compass me about, yeah, they compass me about, but in the name of the Lord will I destroy them. They compass me about like bees. They are quenched as the fire of thorns. For in the name of the Lord will I destroy them. You see that? So the way we're going to destroy Esau's kingdom is simply by teaching the word. And the word is Yahweh Shai, man. This is Jeremiah 17 and 10. I, Yahweh, search the heart, which the heart in the Hebrew is la'ab, which is your mind, your spirit. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruits of his doings. You see that? So the point of Jeremiah 17 and 10 is that Yahweh Shemel Shai searches the heart. He searches the true intent of man. And this man, known as Chief Ephraim, he has an intent to try to promote, the blessing of Esau, Edom, to the nation of Israel. And that's very wicked, man. Pursuing to the book of Jeremiah 23 and 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. You see, woe means destruction. So there will be a destruction, a consequence for these pastors, these so-called chiefs, priests that promote the blessing of Esau Edom to lead the flock of Yahweh Shema Shai to their demise. So I'll read that one more time. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors. Yeah, like Chief Ephraim and these other Israelites that promote the blessing of the so-called white man. Which again, there's something wrong having, firearms, for your own, so-called protection as as a family. You might want to have it, for emergency purposes. But again, when you're using it as a means of a doctrine, of teachings, hey, that's going off. That's not walking in wisdom. Matter of fact, let me get the book of Ecclesiastes 9 and 18. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 9:18. Wisdom, which is this truth, the word, is better than weapons of war. You see that? So Chief Ephraim does not have the wisdom. He doesn't have the breath of life. But he does have what? Those weapons, which is the blessing of Esau Edom, to promote wickedness, because ultimately this is a black culture doctrine. This is black culture teachings, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American promotion, so to speak. And you see that all throughout social media. In the past 2-3 years, there was about 400 rappers from Northern and Southern Kingdom that have been shot down by Esau's blessing, all because they were promoting. They were flexing their muscles, flexing Esau's blessings. That's why Yahushua said, hey, if you want to live by the sword, you will die by the sword. Ecclesiastes 9:18. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. The point is here, wisdom. Wisdom, which I believe the word for wisdom in the Hebrew is hakma, is better than weapons of war. So this truth is better than weapons of war, man. This is 2 Corinthians 6:3. Giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed. So men like Chief Ephraim who promote Esau's blessing, they're giving an offense to the ministry. The ministries, those camps, those brothers who teach in sincerely and in truth, who are actually against, promoting the doctrine of Esau Edom. Let's get the book of Genesis 27. And 40. I'll start at 38. Genesis 27 and 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Yeah, when you go into the word fatness, it means the oil, the resources. Esau Edom was given a temporal blessing of the resources of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live. So Esau was given the blessing of the sword. It tells you that in the book of Romans, that Esau doesn't execute, or beareth the sword in vain. This is Romans 13 and 4. For he is the minister of Yahweh to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, yeah, this is evil, man, promoting Esau's blessing, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. Esau Edom is not is not afraid, man, to use his blessing. Esau has 100% faith in his blessing. You see that daily, man. When Esau Edom shoots down Negro, Latino, Native American men, women, or children, Esau has a 100% accuracy, man, using that sword. For he is the minister of Yahweh, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that doeth evil. And this is an example of he that doeth evil, man, promoting the blessing of the so-called white man. So going back to the book of Genesis 27 and 40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. The point is here. The point is that Esau was given the blessing of the sword, and he beareth not the sword in vain. Back to John 18:36, Yahweh shall answer, my kingdom is not of this world. Yeah, you see that? So if we are followers of Yahweh Shai, we are not of this world, meaning we're not of this so-called white man's queendom. If my kingdom were of this world, meaning if we were sovereign, if we had the power over the nations, then will we use the sword? Then would we fight, that I should not be delivered to the Jews. But now is my kingdom not from hence. You see that? So, and this was Yahweh Shai speaking during the time of the Roman Empire. You see how much more now where Esau Edom has, advanced, has a 100% accurately, generated his blessing to a peak, man, which are these modern day firearms, man. So again, summary exhortation number 10 for you brothers and sisters out there: abstain from all appearance of evil. Don't be posting, these ancient activities with your so-called firearms, man, to the nation of Israel or to the world, man. That's not wise. And I pray this summary exhortation number 10 was edifying. Abstain from all appearance of evil. With that, I want to say shalom.